This is my first video, yay! I posted something on YouTube a while ago now saying that I was going to start making content, and I just, life happens, and so I didn't get around to it, but now I thought it would be a great time to start doing it, even though I'm in my last stretch of my PhD, which is a terrible time to start doing. But anyway, but I felt that I needed some kind of hobby because I've just been doing really, I've just been really meh lately, and I just thought, you know what, let's just, I do my makeup anyway, so what's the difference in just filming it for a little bit? So that's kind of what I'm doing today, and please bear with me while I sort of figure out what kind of content I'm going to make and what this channel is going to look like. At the moment, I guess it's a bit more of a vloggy thing. And today's video, my first video, is going to be like a chatty get ready with me while I just put a face of makeup on so that I can go to the library. That's it. But I'd like to apologize also firstly for the quality of this video and for the lighting. I'm just filming from my laptop. I don't have any camera equipment, and I have my blinds open so that I can see what I'm doing on my mirror. But yeah, the lighting's terrible. It makes my skin look a very different color than it actually is, so that's kind of strange. But we'll see how I go, and if I end up making videos regularly, I might get a camera. I might consider upgrading my phone so that I can film from my phone anyway. But yeah, anyway, so I'm just going to start putting on my foundation now, and then, as I put my makeup on, I'll just, have a bit of a chat about me and who I am and whatever. So I'm going in with the Marc Jacobs Shameless Youthful-Look Longwear Foundation. SPF 25, and I recently purchased this on Sephora during that sale when I think it was 20% off recently here in Australia. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to try it out because it's a very expensive foundation, and I couldn't afford it any other way. So I thought, okay, 20% off is a good time to try it. My shade is in light Y270. Now this isn't really normally my shade, but because we're going into winter here, it's a little bit lighter than what I would normally go through, and that's fine. It's very light coverage, so it's actually quite forgiving with the shade, and that's been one of the reasons actually why people don't really like this foundation, is because it's so light and sheer, but I actually really like that. My skin's been doing okay recently. I mean, oh my god, I'm like on YouTube for the first time and I'm showing you my bare face. It's really very vulnerable. But my skin, my acne I normally deal with is actually doing pretty well at the moment, so it's mainly just like some scarring, and I don't mind if a little bit of foundation, if a little bit of skin peeks through the foundation. I'm not really that concerned with it. So anyway, so I just do a couple of swipes. I'm probably a bit more generous with this than I should be for something that's so expensive, but whatever. I really like how it goes on. And I'm just using a classic foundation brush, a flat foundation brush from EcoTools, just to go with it, because I've read a lot of different reviews about people having trouble using a beauty blender with this type of foundation, and I actually I don't have a sponge at the moment, so I just thought that a brush would be the best option, and it actually works pretty well. But anyway, a little bit about me. So I'm a postgrad student at university. I'm doing my PhD in American history, which is kind of interesting, and I'm in like my final 6 months now, which is really hectic, but yeah, I guess more on that as it happens. I always find it really funny when, you tell people that you're a postgrad and PhD student, and then, they ask you, oh, what's your topic? And, that's the last thing you ever want to discuss. And then they're like, oh, that sounds really great. I'd like to read it when you're done. I'm like, oh my god, me too. Like, it just doesn't feel real. And I guess it won't for a while. But anyway, so that's me, and I live in Sydney. I recently moved here about a year ago. Actually, I've been here for about a year, so I don't know if that's recent, but anyway. And I moved here from Brisbane, and so far, like, I like it, but I feel, pretty isolated. I really miss all my friends in Brisbane, and I guess maybe that's another reason why I wanted to kind of start this channel, because, I'm alone a lot of the time. It sounds It's really sad, but I don't really get to talk to people very much. I'm kind of going a little bit stir crazy, locked up in my little studio, not really talking to people. So I thought, well, if I talk to the internet or talk at the internet, maybe the internet might talk back at me. So yeah. Anyway, I don't know if you can see. Oh, I just got a brush. I don't know if you can see really how this is applying, but see, it's like it is light. But at the same time, like it's fairly decent coverage. It looks quite natural. Like, I mean, it doesn't really cover up all my scars here, you can see, but I'm just going to go in with a concealer anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I just really like how this foundation feels. And you know what else is really interesting about this foundation is that it wears better during the day. Like, the longer it's on, the better it looks, which I've never really noticed for a foundation before. It's kind of the opposite, but anyway. I just like to press it into my skin after going over with the brush. I know that maybe it's a little bit weird, but you know, I'm not the best at applying base, and I sometimes find that, you know, the brush leaves it a tiny bit streaky, so it's good to just, you know, get a little bit of that pressing action going on. Alright, so I'm going to go in with my NARS Creamy Concealer, Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard, Medium 1. Can't see that, it's way too tiny, but anyway, this is like my, oh, I love this. This is living on a diet of this. I swear that's what postgrad has done to me. Like, this is like coffee. Coffee plus NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer it's like my blood. This stuff is the best. It is also incredibly expensive, but it's worth it because it makes me look like I've slept. So that's good. And I'm really like, you know what, I use the same concealer to cover blemishes and also to sort of cover under my eyes as well. So I'm not, you know, this is just like an everyday makeup look. I'm not doing anything fancy. It's just to kind of get me out of the house and whatevs. So yeah. I really do like this concealer, and I've tried a couple of others that are sort of meant to be dupes of this. The Maybelline one and I can't remember the other one. I think, yeah, the Maybelline one that's in it looks really similar to this. And you know what? It just didn't work for me in the same way. Oh yeah, I'm using my hands, not a brush. Whoops. Normally I'd use a beauty blender. Actually, you know what? I've never used a beauty blender. I use the Real Techniques sponge, which is, you know, really great and so much cheaper. I don't know, there's just something about paying $25 for a sponge that I can only have for like 3 months and then have to throw out. I don't know, I'm not just saying that as a student who can't afford it, but I don't know, there's something about that I find really, I just can't get behind that, you know what I mean? So, Real Techniques, and I actually buy them on iHerb because they're so much cheaper than buying it at Priceline. I think it's like $8 a sponge on the iHerb website, and you can buy like a 2-pack for $14. So that's the way to go, and they work really, really well. Again, you know, I've never actually used a beauty blender, so I can't like compare it to that, but you know, they work pretty well for what they are, and everyone raves about them. And I guess, you know, that's another reason why I wanted to start this channel, is because I watch a lot of makeup content and a lot of beauty influencers, and you know what, like, I love the ones that I'm subscribed to and it's great, but sometimes I feel like, you know, I just want to make the content that I want to watch, which is literally somebody talking at me for half an hour while I do something else, and they're kind of my favorite videos. Anyway, I'm just going to really lightly set what I've got on my face with the, this is like so worn off now, this is the Australis banana powder, and this stuff's really, it's pretty good. I always buy my drugstore makeup when Priceline has their like 50% off sale, which works really well for me. And this stuff's really great, and I've hit pan on it, and I'm really proud of that progress. Before this, I was using the Mercier translucent loose powder, and that stuff is, it is amazing. I mean, it's so expensive, but I had it for so long, and I was, you know, using it every day, and it still gave me a lot of use. But I just found, like, I just didn't want to spend $60 on some powder to press my face, to press onto my face. So I thought, well, you know, I'll pan this, and then, I don't know, if I want the Mercier, I'll go back. But, you know, it's, Mercier is leaving the Australian market, which is really sad. So, yeah, like, I mean, I'm sure that there'll still be ways to get her products, just not at the counter, so they're not going to be like physically in Australia, which is kind of sad because I really like some of her products. I know she's a bit kind of like old school and it's kind of like grandma makeup, but that little clay eyeshadow palette I have here, this is actually one of my favorite palettes to use. Oh, it's really dusty, sorry, excuse me. It's the Editorial Eye Palette Intense Glaze Palette Pro. This is actually really amazing. I bought it when it was on sale. It's like 40 bucks from David Jones, and oh, it's really dirty, please excuse this, but it's super basic and they feel like a kind of clay, like to touch. I'll just swatch one for you to show you. But they're amazing. They blend amazingly. Look at that. You can't really see, but look how shimmery that is. And it, oh, dude, this stuff has actually changed my life because I use my fingers and I just pop a little bit on. Actually, you know what? That's what I'm going to use today. And I just kind of build it on like that. And it's just really great for just a really simple, like you just want to get out of the house look. I love it. Anyway, and I got onto this from watching Makeup Struggles, who's one of my favorite YouTubers. She's amazing and hilarious, and she called this her basic bitch palette, and it is, and it's amazing, so I love that. So I'm just going to go in with some of my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I think I just have the bronzer shade, which is so confusing. There's light and then bronzer. And to be honest, it doesn't do too much for me. It's a tiny bit like orange, but you know what? It's good for now. It's fine, and it really helps if I need to like lighten up. Bronze up a lighter foundation. But yeah. Oh yeah, and I'm using my Real Techniques blush brush as my bronzing brush. I don't really do contouring. Like, I don't have time for that. I don't know how to do it. It's not a thing that I've ever really been interested in doing. Everyone does that face, right? So I'm kind of bronze touring or whatever they call it. And I get behind that. I think it's really helpful for people who just want to add like a bit of shape to your face, but like low key and like not really go to any trouble doing it. So yeah, see, like, you know, it works. And this is I really love this formula. I know everyone's like raved about it, and I think like for good reason, hey, because it's just so soft and I really like the smell. And I really wish that you could buy the Physicians Formula Butter Highlighters here in Australia, but you can't. I don't think that they ship to Australia either. And other stockists that normally stock Physicians Formula, like, I hope they don't have the highlighters on there, so that's really irritating. So yeah, so that sucks. But I'm really, you know what, like I'm not that into highlighting anyway. I just thought that, you know, sometimes you want to have a bit of zhuzh on your face. Now I'm just going to go in with a bit of blush. I'm using the ILIA Ladybird Multi-Stick that I bought from Beautylish, actually. And this stuff is really, really cool. I really like it. I just rub a little bit on my fingertips, and then I just pop it on the apples of my cheeks and sort of blend from there, and like kind of messily, like I'm not that great at doing it, but it just helps to give you like a real kind of natural flush without being over the top. And you know what? I find it sits really well on top of powder products, and it doesn't actually like shift your foundation from underneath, which is really cool. But also I find that it, like the lasting power in it is actually pretty good. I've always been fairly skeptical of cream blush products and just cream color products in general because I have such oily skin. Now that it's getting into winter in Australia, it's a little bit drier, so that kind of helps. But I don't know, this lighting is so terrible. You can't really see what it's doing, but it's doing something, I tell you that, I promise you. And the cool thing about it is that, you know, you've got a lot of control when you pop it on with your fingers, so you can really, like, just put it where you want. And, see, look at that, like, it looks nice and kind of natural flush without going in with the powder product, and it doesn't really highlight texture, which is really important because I have, like, quite large pores. But it's a multi-stick, so, you know, you can use it on your lips as well, and personally I don't like this formula on my lips. I don't like how it feels, but also the colour for me doesn't really do anything, so I just don't really bother with that. Anyway, I'm going to do my eyes real quick, so I'm just going to use this Laura Mercier palette. I was going to use my little Huda Beauty Mauve Obsessions palette, but maybe I'll use that next time. But I love this. I only bought it with that Sephora 20% off sale, and this is amazing. I love it. So yeah, so I'm going to do the Laura Mercier. I'm going to show you how I use it. I literally just take a finger and I'm going to go in with this, I think it's called like a blackened brown. Oh, you can see my computer screen and you can see, wow, this is like Inception, like mirror Inception. My, here's my background, James Spader. Oh, I love him so much. I'm just going to go in with this black and brown shade, and it's like so intensely pigmented, the buzzword of the YouTube community, beauty community, and like I'm kind of sick of that word, to be honest, but it is what it is. But anyway, look at that, like, yeah, it's intense. So I just literally dab a little bit on, and then I'm going to go in with a blending brush, and I just have a, what is this? Doesn't really matter, anything nice and fluffy, but Morphe M330, or whatever. These numbers are so confusing, like why? Why do they have those numbers? And just kind of blend it out on the outer corner of your eye so that it's sort of, and it just like melts into your skin. Like this formula, look at that, like it just melts, and it's super sheer and super natural, which is what I've been going for at the moment, just like really low key, just to go to the, you know, go to library, go to uni, just kind of define my eyes a little bit, but like not over the top. So I'm going to go in again, and I'm going to do this side, and it's kind of complicated looking. Sorry, I'm blocking my face with this, but anyway. Well, yeah, it's pretty forgiving, like in terms of the formula. Like if you are messy with it, you can blend it out like fairly easily. I found I haven't really had any problems with it, but I really like this to go and like travel with, because it, like, the shades are super basic. The only crap thing about this palette is this stupid like translucent setting powder that they put in there, but it's got like glitter in it, and it's just like yuck. Like, no, I don't need that. I don't want that. And I don't even know why I'm talking about Laura Mercier at length, because, you know, you're not going to be able to buy it in the Australian market in person anymore. But if they do any sales, I recommend, like, you know, picking this up if you're interested, if you need I've got stuff on my hands and I didn't think to wipe them before I finished blending. Just add a little bit more. Another thing that I use this for too, which I found is actually really helpful. See, look, that's pretty even. Oh, I don't even care. I'm just going to the library, no one cares. Is I use this to line underneath my eyes as well. So that's been really cool. I just use like a kind of like a smudgy brush and just pop it back into that same shade, and just like a little bit under the eyes to take it down. And look at that, like it works pretty good for that. And you could probably pop it on like a flat liner brush and actually line your waterline if you like, because it sticks really well. And I find because it's this clay formula, if you've got oily lids, like I didn't even use a primer, if you've got oily lids, it actually like stays on there you know, all day. So that's really good. I've never had any like smudging problems, no transference, like I've never had any problems with this. And yeah, I actually really love it. Like, thank you Makeup Struggles for suggesting this, because I think it's like one of the best palettes that I have. And, you know, I don't have that many palettes. I have like 9 or 10, you know, which is more than you need. Another thing I do with this as well is I actually pop it in my eyebrows too, because it works like a multi-use like that. So, you know, I recommend if you need something like this, then get it in your life. It's good. Now I'm going to go in with this shade. I don't know what color this is. It's kind of like a taupey, like a shimmery taupe. And I'm just going to pop a little bit on my finger, and I'm just going to blend it on my eyes. So, super low-key. Super low-key. Oh, where did I get that from? Oh, what's his name? Andy Samberg. Oh my god, I love him too. How good is Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Oh, I love that show. Whoop, wrong color. So yeah, so if anybody ends up even watching this, why don't you let me know if there's, you know, something you'd like me to film. I mean, I have like quite a lot of makeup. So if you ever want me to talk about particular products, or, you know, what I buy, I can do that. That could be kind of fun. But I like these kind of like chatty, get ready with me tutorial slash I don't know, like, not really anything videos. I find that they're really fun to watch and listen to. I love having them on when I'm just at home and I'm having, having lunch or having a cup of tea or something, and I pop it on, and I love that. So I guess that's kind of where I'm going with this. I know it's like already 20 minutes. Oh my god, if you're still listening, wow, like that's amazing. But yeah, like I don't know. That's kind of where I'm going with it at the moment. Just sort of vloggy, and I mean I can get a lot more personal, talk a lot more about me and what I do, and not that I ever really want to talk about my PhD because that's why I'm here to kind of not talk about it. But I'm happy to like answer questions and stuff. And oh yeah, I'm just blending like up. Because sometimes, like, I have slightly hooded eyes, like, not, it's kind of hard to see, but, like, they kind of fall over, so I find that if I blend it up in there already, then it actually looks just like I've done it on purpose, which I guess I have. But yeah, so if it does end up transferring, if I'm a little bit, like, schwitzier during the day, then it's kind of a bit more faded out, so that works. And now, like, that's not too bad. That's pretty basic, pretty average. I think I did alright. I don't know. I'm not really a beauty, like, aficionado. I'm just a regular consumer, and I think that's also why I wanted to start this as well, is because I think there are a lot of people like me who watch these videos, buy the stuff, and are like, oh, what do I do? So this is me trying to figure out what I'm doing. What's next? Mascara. Just going to curl my lashes real quick. Oh my lord. I have so many memories of my mum's lash curler when I was a kid and digging into her makeup and finding it and like just ripping out my lashes because I didn't know what I was doing. And look, I still really don't know what I'm doing. But I just find that I really need the height on them because otherwise my mascara feels quite heavy and it actually like closes my eyes if I don't. Give these a little bit of a help, but I'm really fortunate. I have quite dark, like, black lashes. I'm pretty lucky. Also, like, same with the black eyebrows. I don't really do anything to them. I am so overdue for a wax, but I don't want to go to Benefit and have my brow technician rouse at me because last time it wasn't very pleasant. But like she eyebrow shamed me. I mean, she's like, oh, you have lovely eyebrows, they're good shape, but you need to get them done regularly. I'm like, whatever. Anyway, Marc Jacobs, what is it called? The Velvet Noir Major Volume. This stuff is amazing. This is the mini size. I never buy full size mascaras of luxury brand items because you're not meant to keep them that long anyway. There is no way that I would use an entire mascara tube within like the 3 months. Granted, I've had this for like a lot longer than 3 months. I think this is like, yeah, I bought this when I just moved to Sydney, so I'm really like, and it's still good. It's still working. I really love this formula. I really love this brush. I think it's really great. I used to use the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and that stuff's good. But the mini version of this is like $20. The mini of the Too Faced, maybe it's about the same price. I don't know. I've never bought the mini of that one. I've only ever bought the full size of that, and that's when I decided that never again would I buy a full size mascara of a luxury brand. But this stuff, I just love it. I just love how it just like lengthens and you can't see. My lighting's really bad. My whole setup's really bad. But anyway, hopefully one day it might get better and you'll actually get to see what it does. But this is like one of my favorite products. Mascara is one of my favorite things. Mascara and blush are the two things that I love putting on the most. I feel like, I could get away with not really doing anything else to my eyes. I could get away with not highlighting, not bronzing. Even lip products, like I'm not even that like crazy about them, but there's something about like I need mascara. I need mascara before I leave my house, and also a bit of blush. It's kind of like that bit, in Breakfast at Tiffany's where Audrey Hepburn, Holly Golightly's in the taxi and she's about to read that letter from her Brazilian boyfriend who's abandoned her, and she's like, oh, a girl can't read a letter without her lipstick or whatever. Of course, I didn't sound anything like her, oh my god. But yeah, that's how I feel about mascara. I feel like when I've got my mascara on, that's when I feel the most like, bam, I got this. I got the day in my hand, and I I am woman, hear me rule, or whatever. So yeah, that's my eyes. I'm not really going to do much with my brows because, like, look how huge they are. So I just, like, kind of run a spoolie through them, and I really want to get that, like, you know, that really, like, feathery look that people do, and they get, like, their top ones to sort of peek out, but I just can't. Mine are actually, like, too well behaved. I don't want well behaved brows. I want brows to, you know, mess up a little bit, but anyway, but I kind of just, this helps to get rid of a bit of that extra product that's in there, and yeah, it just helps. And sometimes I run, like, I'd run that little Mercier clay, or I also have my Anastasia Dip Brow in dark brown, which I think wasn't the best choice for me because my eyebrows are really black, and I know they say to use, like, a lighter color, but it's really obvious that I have brown and black, so I need to kind of figure out a better way to use it. But this stuff is like I've been using this for a really long time, and it just doesn't budge. Like this, if you're going to buy one thing that, you know, is a bit more expensive for an eyebrow product, this will last you literally forever. So yeah, so that's pretty much my face look. Normally I'd set everything with a Max Fix Plus, but look, I have like none left, and I'm going to take this as an opportunity to go and buy that new one that's been released, the one with the pink pearlescent kind of stuff that's in there. So I'm going to really try and use that one and see what it's like. I also sometimes use a Pixie Glow Mist, but I feel like my skin's looking pretty dewy as it is. Like, that's what I love about this foundation. Like, it's just, yeah, I love that. And what else do I use sometimes? Sometimes I bought this recently at Mecca. Lavender I've heard is really good for, like, you know, aromatherapy wise. It's nice and calming, and I really needed that. But also I actually just put this in my bag when I go to the library, and if I'm in aircon all the time, like, I find that this kind of just gives you a bit of a perk up. So, but I don't think I need to really set anything. I've already put on lip balm. I'm not really going to bother with the lip colour. I might just use a gloss, just to give me a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of something else. Oh, you know what? I don't have my gloss with me, so I will just use my Urban Decay. This was a limited edition. This came out quite a while ago. Urban Decay Sheer in the shade Lawbreaker. If anyone knows if you could still get this somewhere, please, like, you have to tell me, because this is, like, my favourite. Look at this. Like, actually, I never finish lip products, and, like, I've nearly finished this one. But this stuff's really great. It goes on sort of like a gloss, but it's really, on my teeth. It's a really sheer, so you can kind of build it up. And look how pretty that is. It's just a really nice, like, a natural colour. I got this suggestion from Killer Colours, who I think, number one, she's the most beautiful woman in the entire world. And her video made me buy the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. But she is just, like, absolutely stunning. She doesn't really make YouTube videos anymore, but she does have an active blog, and she's on Instagram as well, so I follow her. And I remember seeing pictures of her wearing this. I'm like, oh my god, I need that in my life. So yeah, so that's that look. I'm just gonna put my hair down, and it's like on day 3 of not washing, so it's not in the best, like, condition, but I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of dry shampoo to kind of zhuzh up the roots a little bit. Dude, I'm just going to the library, like, seriously. And, like, I just don't really care about my hair. Wow. Oh, God. In general, but look at that, like, massages that pretty well. And I have, like, really dark roots, so I love this stuff. My friend told me about this, Klorane. You know, it's so expensive, but I don't know. I find that it really helps take me through to not the next sort of day of not washing. My friend told me about this. I used to use Batiste, and that stuff's good, but I often felt that it made my hair feel dirtier, whereas every time I use Klorane, I feel like it's actually taking away those oils as opposed to sort of adding to them. So yes, I really like that. Anyway, well, that's my look. That's my library look. I'm sorry this video was really long. Oh my god, it's half an hour. If you still watched it all, then wow. But yeah, thank you. Thanks for watching. And I hope that this was, you know, kind of enjoyable to watch. But I will, you know, I'm thinking of uploading maybe like once a week or so, and it's just going to be me doing my makeup, or maybe talking about a new product that I've got, or just having like a bit of a check-in about my life. I don't know, if that's the kind of thing that you're into, then, you know, stick around, I guess. If you like it, then feel free to subscribe if you want to. And comments would be really great, because I'd like to know what I can do better, and I'm not used to talking to a camera like this, so yeah, give me some pointers maybe, or I don't know, whatever you think. But I hope you all have a lovely day today, and I guess I'll see you next time. Bye!